French President Emmanuel Macron is arriving in India for a pivotal visit this afternoon. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will welcome the the visiting dignitary in Jaipur, where they will visit various places of cultural and historical significance, including Jantar Mantar and Hawa Mahal. In the evening, both the leaders will have a bilateral meeting. French President Emmanuel Macron will be accompanied by a high-level ministerial and business delegation. India seeks access to the French market for crucial technologies, aiming to develop a robust military-industrial ecosystem. As strategic partners, India and France share a high degree of convergence on a range of regional and global issues. Also, on the economic front, fast-tracking negotiations for India-EU free trade agreement is a potential outcome, aiming to boost trade and economic ties. Strengthening business ties and promoting cross-investments will be underscored through France's Make It Iconic campaign. This year, the two countries are celebrating the 25th anniversary of the strategic partnership. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the guest of honor at the Bastille Day parade held on 14th of July last year in Paris. President Macron visited India for the G20 summit on 9th and 10th of September last year. All right, for more on this, we're joined in by our correspondent Jessica Taneja. Jessica, good morning. Now, we know that this is France's sixth participation as the chief guest of India's Republic Day celebrations. French President Emmanuel Macron will be arriving in Jaipur today afternoon. What all is lined up for today first?
Well, good morning to you, Preeti, and all to our viewers. It's certainly a significant and important day between India and France. As you already mentioned, the French president will be here in Jaipur towards the afternoon, and we will be tracking all the details for our viewers here. But first up, the important meetings that are lined up, and of course, all the events towards the afternoon, taking the Prime Minister and French President to the iconic Amer Fort. And of course, again, at Jantar Mantar and in the roadshow in the evening, we're expecting a lot of pomp on the streets. We're expecting a lot of people to be here as well, especially the French delegation who is traveling with the president to firm up a lot of deals that are in the pipeline. We're looking at a defense deal, of course, an extension of the Rafale deal. We've already had the Rafale jets for the Indian Air Force. The new INS Vikrant is also expecting Rafale Marines for its fleet. And of course, 3 new Scorpene submarines, that's also in the pipeline. We could expect some input on that. Of course, people-to-people ties keep the French and India relationship quite strong over the years. Looking at other trade deals as well, we could expect at least some outcome, if not complete deliberation on what's happening on the EU-India free trade agreement. Of course, that solely doesn't rest on the French president's decision. It's the entire European Union bloc. But there have been negotiations going on for decades now. And now we're getting to hear the next month, towards 19th to 23rd February, there'll be another meeting to firm up details on how the EU FTA trade and the roadblocks could be erased. So, of course, a lot on the agenda today. But first up, the bilateral meeting that is due to take place in the evening. You can expect a lot of good announcements, which would further strengthen the cooperation between India and France, not just in the defense sector, but also in space cooperation, climate action, as you pointed out. Students who would like to study in France, there has been a program to allow 30,000 students to study in France by 2030. That's the cap that the French government has put in. And of course, moving on from here, there is just a lot on the agenda, and we'll have more details in the evening, Preeti.
So, all right, it will be a packed visit of the French president. But Jessica, this year marks the 25th year of the strategic partnership between the two countries. A quick recap or a relook at how the relationship between the two countries has grown.
That's correct. 25 years of strategic partnership. But if you look at the relationship between the two countries, starting out at 1998, when the strategic partnership was forged in order to, for the two countries to move ahead in their particular direction. And now we know that, in the recent past, the relationship that has been going on forward, starting from nuclear cooperation in 98, where you remember France didn't condemn India for those nuclear tests. In fact, it was the only country that did not even question India's internal affair, and that remains to be the same till date. So beyond defense deal, there has been nuclear cooperation. If you would recall, Preeti, back in '98 when India had conducted its first nuclear test. Beyond, of course, not condemning India, the other part of the relationship was that France was the country that was helping India get new fuel for its nuclear reactors right at the time when it was building its nuclear capacity. So, of course, that has been one of the foundations of a strong and principled relationship between the two over the years. But as I said, there have been some roadblocks in terms of France helping India in developing our nuclear reactors as well. So one thing on that front can be expected, but we don't know for certain if that's going to come up. But talking about the overall relationship between India and France, it goes way beyond 1998. And if you remember, Jacques Chirac not only visited, former President, French President Jacques Chirac not only visited India during Republic Day on the 26th of January when Atal Bihari, pardon me, later on, and then with Atal Bihari Vajpayee visiting France. The relationship between the two has been strongest ever, perhaps a strongest partner in the European Union bloc.
All right, Jessica, we'll leave it here. Thank you for joining us.